When you need to create single-page apps that work with big amounts of data, consider using the combination of Webix UI and Webix Jet. The UI library handles lots of data in the most efficient way with dynamic grid rendering. And Webix Jet is a lightweight micro-framework that was specifically designed for creating Webix-based, data-heavy single-page apps. Let's look more closely into why the combination of Webix UI and Jet should be your go-to solution when it comes to this kind of task. The user interface of an app is split into views. Each view module has its distinct functionality. Keeping UI blocks in isolated modules makes them self-contained and helps you keep your code loosely coupled. It is easy to create really complex user interfaces as you can build them from small blocks. I'll show you how to create this small side menu and load data into it. Jet views can be defined as ES6 classes, which is the most flexible way. Let's import the Jet view class and create our class on its basis. Jet view has a method that returns the UI configuration, config method, and other methods that implement lifetime event handlers of the view. Let's begin with the interface of the view. I'll create a small side menu, so I am choosing the menu Webix view. Template will define the look of each menu option, an icon, and the option name. Next, I need the options themselves, so I must add the data. I can add inline data if they are small, simple, and only for this view. Also, I can store data separately because it is a good idea to separate visualization and data. Data in Webix Jet is usually stored in a special kind of module called models. Models are kept in a separate folder and can be imported like this. Load the data not in config, but in a different JetView class method called init. With this method, you can perform actions right at the moment when the view is rendered. Init receives the view parameter, the Webix widget that is inside the JetView. That's how you create views. Now let's look into how to create a fully functional app from a number of standalone views. Let's create the first view as a class. First, import the JetView class. Next, let's define the config method. It will return the UI configuration of the view, a toolbar with the Webix logo for now. Now let's include the view into the app. An app is defined as an instance of the JetApp class. Let's import the JetApp class and styles. The style sheet has CSS rules for the logo. When initializing the app, you must set up its configuration. For example, you need to set the start URL of the app. On the development stage, it's good to enable the debug mode for logging messages to console. The app is ready. Now you need to render it. Let's add one more view and put it below the toolbar. Let's create one more class view, the profile view. Now let's include the recently created profile view and the menu we've created into the top view below the toolbar. Views included from other modules are called subviews. You can include them statically like this. You can also include subviews dynamically. Instead of a specific name of a view, put a placeholder for it. You'll need this if you want to change views in one and the same place in the application. Now let's change the start URL. As the subview is included dynamically, it's the URL that defines which view will be rendered as a subview of top. If the URL changes, the UI is rebuilt. I've already created 5 subviews similar to the profile view. Have a look at one of them, the account.js file. I've put them into the views folder, and after that I will use the side menu to change the URL of the app and show the views according to the URL. We can navigate within JetApp with the help of simple HTML links. To make it possible, I provided an href attribute for each menu option, which will lead to the related subview. Within JetApps, you can move backwards and forwards with browser navigation buttons to previously opened views, which is pretty convenient. Webix Jet offers predefined plugins. The plugins solve common tasks, such as navigation, access control, warning about unsaved data, localization, status notifications, applying skins, and setting URL parameters. The menu plugin simplifies in-app navigation. We can use it in conjunction with our side menu. It will set the URLs for each menu option automatically. If used with this side menu, the plugin will set URLs for each menu option. This way, you don't have to provide href attributes for them. Let's import plugins into the menu.js file. Begin with calling the use method of the JetView, which houses the menu. The first parameter is the name of the plugin. The second parameter is the widget object, which will serve as a menu. The plugin will take the IDs of the menu options and look for views with such names. When the name is found, it will render it as a subview instead of the current one. Let's also take a look at the Locale plugin, which allows switching between languages in your app. To use it, open the app.js file and enable the plugin. In the Locales folder, I have locale files for this demo, English and Spanish. The contents of these files should be like this: the label in the default language and its translation. I'll place a segmented button on the toolbar. This segmented button will toggle languages. After a user changes its value, the app will be rebuilt automatically with the correct text labels. The initial value of the button will be set to the current default locale, English. To toggle the languages, we need to call the setLang method of the locale service. It sets the new locale specified as its argument. The argument will be taken from the value of the segmented button. To localize all the text labels in the app, I'll use the underscore method of the locale service. This method will be applied to all the labels and templates in each view and provide translations for them. Apps developed with WebixJet are easily configurable because you can easily create and arrange views. The development environment is also very convenient, as WebixJet uses the Webpack toolchain. For instance, every time you change the code, the app will be rebuilt automatically. Check out the demos on GitHub. Download or clone the JetStart repository and run 2 commands. Same commands go for Yarn users. That's how you can easily start creating a single-page application with WebixJet. To get a better insight, read the WebixJet Gitbook. Get Webix UI and WebixJet to start creating fast and reliable apps.